Welcome to Self-Care Sessions, Episode 2, Escapism, Exercise, and Bears, Oh My. I hope that title will make sense to you soon. So I recently learned how mammals react to being put in captivity. First, they start into flight mode. They are pacing back and forth, trying to find a way out. And then they start thrashing at the barriers that are keeping them inside. And then once they realize that there's really no way out, they just flop over. They play dead. They're resigned. And I've been noticing a lot of that in my clinical work, folks going through these stages or skipping to the one that is most familiar to their nervous system. And happily, we are not animals. Human beings have amazing adaptive capacities and cognitive abilities that other mammals just don't have. It's also really helpful to remember that we are sheltering in place as a result of the choice to live, right? The animal, its captivity is going against everything that it knows is good for its life, and for us too, in a lot of ways. The ability to move, to make choices, to connect with anyone that we want to, those are things that are good for us. But we are making the choice to have our worlds be smaller in order to protect ourselves and others, and reminding ourselves that can help us. So I want to talk about two different ways that we can take care of our nervous systems in order to not go through that fight, flight, freeze cycle. And they fall into escape and exercise, right? So because we know that those nervous system responses are being activated, we can do things to discharge that energy. So when all this blood rushes to our big muscle groups because our nervous system is in the fight or flight state, we can exercise to discharge that. You can go and do push-ups in your living room or in your kitchen. You can do wall sits. Even if you're sitting at your desk and you notice that your heart is racing and your thoughts are racing, you can just push your palms together. And that's activating your biceps. Or you can push your feet into the floor, right? This doesn't have to be a huge deal. It's just all these micro things that can help you to regulate. And breathe, right? Like I said in the last video, breathing tells your nervous system that you are okay. And I'll be posting some breathing practices on my website as well. So the other route is escapism, when our brain starts to get in this loop of, I want to, I can't. I should, I can't, right? What can you do? Our brain is amazing. Our imaginations are amazing. And within our apartments and our houses, there are ways to visit hundreds of different countries, whether it's through books, through movies. But if we want to just mine our own minds, right, we can listen to a song that brings back a flood of memories from the past. We can write a letter to somebody we haven't talked to in a while, or maybe write a letter that we'll never send. Maybe we can write down everything we're angry about and then shred it into a million little pieces and then throw it in the trash can. Or maybe we just want to scribble and see what happens. Engaging our imagination and creating, not for the sake of a product, but just for the sake of being with our own process, can be really freeing and create new worlds for us when we're feeling confined. So how do you decide what you need, right? Very simple process that has been very helpful for me. Step one, and this is if you're upset and you're trying to regulate, or if you just have leisure time and you're trying to figure out what would be the best self-care for you. So step one, notice how you feel. Step two, choose what you're going to do and do it. And step three, notice how you feel, right? So a lot of times in our normal lives, we go through our routines because things are planned, but now we have a lot more choice. And it can be a really useful time to reevaluate if things are working for us. So say you feel exhausted at the end of the day and you're not sure, do I need to move or do I need to rest? Well, try one. And say after that exercise class, you feel really really energized and have more hope and more ideas, then, oh, that was the right thing. But maybe you just feel really worn out at the end. And that could be data for you that maybe when you're feeling that particular type of exhaustion, you need something more restful, something more slow, something more restorative. You need to slow down. Breathe. So it's all a process of gathering data so that we can be kind of better stewards of ourselves in this time and afterwards. So I hope that that was helpful and interesting to you. I welcome any feedback, and be well.